Leave I get jealous fucking time I say oh. Ayúdame en este momento para que me des el poder para conquistar el cuerpo. Te daré mi devoción para siempre poderoso.
¿Qué pasa there, Pedro?
That's the I see. I cannot hit curveball. Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball, bats are afraid. I asked Joe Boo to come. Take fear from bats.
Take fear from bats. Hey, Jesus.
He will come.
You know, you might think about taking Jesus Christ as your savior instead of fooling around with all this stuff.
Shit, Harris.
Jesus.
Jesus.
I like him very much.
How you feel about Jesus, Zeb?
I'd say Jesus is my favorite also.
Does he help you
War here.
hit the curveball?
The curveball.
Wouldn't
What's that, hardball?
Rum sitting around out here with this group.
It's very bad
It's very bad.
to steal Joe Boo's rum.
It's very bad.
He's very bad.
Got one more for you.
Serrano digging in, down a strike. Jackson gets his sign and comes set. Checks Dorn at first. Here's the pitch, a curveball, swung on and missed. Strike two, and Serrano wasn't even close to that one.
She's off now, Joe Boo.
Peace off now, Joe Bull.
Good to you. Stick up for you.
Stick up for you.
You know, help me now. So fuck you, Joe Boo.
Fuck you.
I do it myself.
I'll do it myself.
Jackson wants a new sign. Now he's got what he likes. Here's the pitch to Serrano. He swings and drives from the deep left. Way back, way back. This ball is gone. Yeah.
Welcome to a Sunday edition of Third Continental Congress. Bats are afraid. Bats are afraid. But before we get into all of that, let's quickly say hello to our guest, Zeb.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
How
are we doing today?
Zeb, we will get into it in a minute. What's going on, chat? Chronic, always good to see you. Moonchild, welcome back. Sodium Soldier, Songbird. 9LLI on Rumble, what's going on? Commander Kim, what's going on? Lord of the Ree is in the house. Spearhand is in the house. Marketed Moto is back. OGTLT. What is going on, world champions? I don't give a shit what you call it. Bats are afraid, Joe Boo. Wild times. Let's get this Zoom back out there. Really taking advantage of those PTZ presets.
I just want to know if chat's ready to. We're gonna throw down again today, like we did last week.
We are gonna battle like some angry motherfuckers. This is what we're working on today. What we agree on so far of the American creed, which is nothing. We don't agree on anything. It's a bummer. But we're going to try to start hashing that out if we can. Joe just got a little weird audio. No, okay, we're good.
That was me. I was pulling up chat.
Gotcha. You threw some curveballs at us last time, like dual citizenship.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it. Well, we'll get into it in a little bit.
We will get into it, but this and then the sort of center.
Well, here's what chat needs to understand, John. Me and you may disagree, but both of us are always right. So
there you go.
As long as they understand that, we're good to go.
That's a paradox, and paradox means you're approaching the truth. So I'm all for it. I do want to quickly say one more week that the Deacon will not be with us. He will be back. We're planning the next week. Do say a prayer for him. And again, I'll let him tell that full story when he comes back if he would like. But as far as I know, everything's going okay with that, like we talked about last week briefly. So no Deacon's prayer today, just Joe Boo. Joe, I remember what fucking camera that is. He's lit up. We're protected. We told him to go fuck himself. All good on that front. Okay, so the American scripture of today, again, American Creed. Zeb, you have a favorite question that is, what is an American?
For now.
And I have a favorite question that, what is the problem? And I figured maybe there's kind of a third question in there that fits a trinity, if you will. So I don't know. Did you you didn't say the Nicene Creed, right? You don't say that one? Do you say that one? Do you say the Apostles' Creed?
Yeah, so I'm dealing with that right now. I've been dealing with that for a little while. I was trying to understand, where I'm at. But Baptists do mostly, at least Southern Baptists do deny Nicene Creed, specifically when it says that baptism saves.
Not that the Nicene is right or wrong or anything like that, but just as an illustration of what I'm talking about when I say American Creed. I don't think we agree really yet. We're trying to fight an enemy, but we're not unified on that front. And so, first things first is, what exactly is it? What is our creed? What is it that we stand for? So I'm calling that the American Creed. The Nicene Creed was from the Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. The original form formulated by Christian bishops at the request of Emperor Constantine to address the heresy of Arianism. That's Arianism with an I, Arianism, because that was just a guy's name. It's a coincidence. Arianism is a Christological doctrine which rejects the traditional notion of the Trinity and considers Jesus to be a creation of God, therefore distinct from God. And Constantine's like, well, we need to address that. That's not what we believe. So the key aspects of what they as they formalized their creed was, there is one God who is three persons. There's only one God, but this one God is understood to exist as three distinct persons, co-equal and co-eternal. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are fully God with equal power, wisdom, and goodness. Shared divine nature. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit possess one undivided divine nature. Distinct roles, scriptural basis for all of that. What the Trinity is not. Again, this is just, they had a council and said we need to decide this shit. Big balls. Ben Big Balls Franklin. Have some money. Long live the Republic. Thank you, Ben Big Balls Franklin. What the Trinity was not. Again, so they talk about what it is and what it's not, just like we do with what is an American. Not three gods, not tritheism, not three parts of God, not partialism, not three modes of God, not modalism. So I was kind of thinking about this yesterday, and it occurred to me, Zeb, that we sort of have a trinity of questions that fits very nicely. So this wasn't really about the Nicene Creed being right or wrong, but I think we need one. You have a father. That's the source or the creator. To me, that is the what is the problem question. That's a question that is a source of all other questions. To me, it's what is an American is a specific version of what is the problem. And there's many versions of that question. I don't believe that question is answerable. Just like I don't believe God is answerable or knowable in that sense. So we have one question that's just sort of this thing. What we do all agree on, hold on. This was what made me think it was a stroke of genius. We can't agree or even answer what is the problem, but we can all agree that the problem exists. A problem exists. Just like God may not agree on what the Father is, but I think we can agree he exists, whatever that thing is. So that's that one. And then we have the Son, Zeb. I see that as your question. Your question is the Son. What is an American? You can answer that question. The Son, according to doctrine, is the Redeemer in flesh. He's God made real. So again, what is an American, or maybe what is one's in-group? Anybody, a Japanese guy, a Mexican. What is a Mexican, he could say. Good for him. And then you have the Holy Spirit, the Comforter and Intercessor. I think that question is what am I, or consciousness, which I see a lot of overlap when I was thinking about this with the Holy Spirit, is this animating force within us. And so it's like what I have written here. Zeb may be an American, but not all Americans are Zeb. Philosophizing. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. So I think we have three good questions. What is the problem? What is an American? And what am I? So that's our Trinity. And from that, hopefully, a creed. A creed. And I say it so we can't really answer what is the problem, but there is one. Maybe I should type that in here. There's a problem. And then there is a problem. That show up okay? I kind of whipped this together.
Yep, that's good.
Okay. So, let's go from there. We don't agree on fucking anything else. On anything else. Is the guy who stabbed that Ukrainian refugee an American? You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Where those
All right, let me throw a curveball at you real
those
quick.
poor Venezuelan fishermen.
I mean, each of these questions, if you will, the trinity of questions, right? What is the problem? I think that in itself has questions within it. And
I think it's
guess
every question is within that. Go ahead, sorry.
every question.
Every question.
That's a lot of questions. But yeah, so I would. So then the question is, what is an American? And I would say we were kind of deliberating back and forth on two separate things: American citizenship, which is easily definable, right? I think we can all agree on what is an American citizen. The question of what is an American, I think, is a more deeper question, and I guess you could kind of look at it as different natures within Christ. What makes up America is different than what is an American, and so I think there's a third option here of what is an American that you were trying to bind within the nationhood of America. And when I say that is, I think there's an American patriot that could be defined as an American alongside an American citizen, but neither of those are necessarily American by ethnicity, if you will.
Hold on. I'm just getting caught up here. All right. I think we're well formulated now. What is the problem?
Yeah, what you think about that?
There is a problem too. There is what is an American? Okay. I'm sorry. I was kind of
I basically said that there's a it seems like there's three answerable or two answerable questions and one either answerable or unanswerable question within the question of what is an American, right? We have an American citizen, which is easily defined. Then we have something less easily defined, which is an American. I want to get to that super chat. Give me 1 second. Then we have a second question, which is a little bit less easy to define, which is what is an American patriot? And then the overarching question of what is an American, I would argue, is an ethnic question or a nationality question.
Okay, hold on. Citizen versus what term?
Patriot, if that's what you want to argue.
Right.
Or something very non-tangible.
Is this the same as what I was talking about last?
I think it's close. I think it's going to be easier to define this way than trying to bind it all under one broad question. I think it'll satisfy both of our urges. The question was, what can we agree on what isn't an American? I think yes, to an extent we can, right? So I went to a Charlie Kirk event. When was that? 3 weeks ago? I asked Charlie Kirk, I said, what is an American? I went to a Myron event last week. I said, Myron, what is an American? I think this is, like I said, I think this is the defining question moving forward for the next decade, if not 3 or 4, 5, 6, I don't know, century, if you will. But the question is, what is an American? And everyone that has been asked that question so far answers it in the exact same way that the super chat asked that question. I can tell you what an American isn't. I don't know what an American is, but I can tell you what it isn't. But that doesn't move the goalposts. Everybody knows what an American is just with their eyes. And so everybody knows what an American isn't with their eyes. Some people just don't want to admit it. And so specifically, Kennard on the radio station, when he was asked what is American, specifically Charlie Kirk, when he was asked what is American, they both said what isn't an American, but then qualified their own Americanism by saying my ancestors have been here since 1600 and 1620. And so this is exactly what you run into is people don't want to admit what it is, but they will qualify their own Americanism by longevity within the country, by inheritance, by ancestry. And so this is what we have to squeeze out of people if we want to move forward.
Man, this is really fighting me to get this displayed the way I want it to.
It looks good, John. It looks good. Chat will be okay.
What in the world? Why isn't that showing up? It was before. All right.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I was just trying to get our list up. Trying to get our list up. All right, hold on. This is gonna potentially. You are absolutely killing me right now. What? Weird. Well, we'll come back to that.
Chad, I asked you if you're ready to fight today. Are you ready to fight? Let's go. I'm just kidding. It makes for good content, guys. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
All right.
I want to. Let's see. Jones says America isn't a freaking timeline. Not. I don't even know where that's coming from. Just because years exist doesn't make something a timeline or not. I mean, did America exist in 1200?
I don't know. So where'd that? Who's
The answer is obviously no.
stacking coins? 3 people at the table. One is a woman, thinks she's a woman. One is a woman and thinks she's a man. One is a man and thinks he's a woman. Which are women? Hey, that was my example. Somebody listen to me, Zeb. Yeah, I think that's a good metaphor. We can always use the metaphorical table and the people sitting at it, and the logical categories of people that belong there and are also sitting there, people that don't belong there and are sitting there, and people that don't, or do belong there and aren't sitting there. And I guess there's people that don't belong there and don't sit there, but we don't really need to worry about that category because they're not causing any problems. But yeah, again, so we have this idea. God, I wish I could get it pulled back up, and I'm not really sure why I can't.
Somebody told me to turn my gain down. Does that help any at all?
I did. I turned you down a little bit on my end there in a second too.
I think it's
You sound good in my headphones.
peaking on my end.
But I think I got you under control.
Let me know if that's any better.
Got limiters on all this stuff. I don't know what the
It's probably on my end. It's peaking before it even gets to you.
Man, we're struggling today, Zeb. I should quickly defend myself or explain myself here. I'm producing this college football show, sort of. I'm helping it make it happen out of Studio Center here. And so
Dude, it looks good.
Penn State sucked yesterday, so we got fucking hammered. So I'm not even hungover. I'm still drunk. No, that's not entirely true. I am killing the hangover a little bit, though, the best way I know how.
Did we answer Stacking Coin's question? 3 people at the table. One is a woman, thinks she's a woman. One is a woman, thinks she's a man. One is.
Oh, I thought he was being rhetorical.
Oh, is he? I mean, he is, but I think
the
it's a
one
valid
that
question.
is belongs at the table and also thinks they belong at the table. That's a woman. Or the table of womanness. No, you would disagree? Jesus.
No, I agree. I agree.
Okay, it's like,
Wait.
fuck, man.
I mean, who
Can't
else
even
would you fit in there?
Holy shit. Well, so like a male tranny would be someone that's sitting at the table but does not belong there.
Well, I mean, I would say there's 2 there. I mean, which are women. The one is a woman, thinks she's a woman, is obviously a woman.
No. We got to use the table. We got to use it.
Okay.
All right. We have a dialectic going here. I'm Socrates. You're Glaucon. Whatever the fuck the name's Plato.
Who's Glaucon?
He's one of the dudes in Plato's dialogues or whatever. So you have a table called, anyone sitting at it is nominally a woman. You could like So the idea is that you have this idea of permission to sit at the table. So like some other outside force is granting permission to sit at this table. And it is, and that's why you could call that the law. Okay. It's like saying that trannies are, if you believe you're a woman, and that's what the law says. Doesn't make it real. And so then you have to also consider this possibility. So you have some person or human entity is giving permission to sit at the table. At the same time, there's some objective concept higher than human permission of what we would call belonging. And so just because you have permission to sit at the table does not mean you necessarily belong at the table. Okay, so you have a biological woman. You could not give her permission to sit there, but she would belong there, right? In this box called female.
Mm-hmm.
Or a transsexual, a biological man that just calls themselves a woman, they would be allowed in the current climate and rules, but they don't belong there. And this was all being talked about more as you can use that sort of model to think about what is an American. Or I think you can answer you could use any nation, Mexican, what is a Filipino? What is a Chinese person? All your answers will be the same as when you answer what is an American. Would they not? Like a Chinese person has lived in, is probably born in China. They probably have had family there. They probably culturally are Chinese. They speak the language, right? All that stuff, I think we kind of actually have to set in stone. Like how many generations? Does it even matter? Do you really need to be born there? Can you be spiritually? I think we were saying last time, no first generation immigrant can ever be truly considered American. You would then say also not Chinese or Japanese. I think we kind of agreed on that. Like if you or I move to another country, we can never truly become one of that country, part of their in-group, but our children could. And we started to kind of think about like, well, how many?
Depending on country, but yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, if I move to the Congo, my kids can never be Congolese. Whereas if I move to the UK,
because they're white, you're saying?
Yes. Well, it's just because there's a spectrum of race or nationalities doesn't mean that one, they don't exist, or two, that it would take longer to get to one of the others across the spectrum than within the same.
So you're saying
finding.
What is a Congolese person? You would say a Congolese person is black.
Yes.
Period.
Well, black is pretty encompassing, but yes, all Congolese are black. But
well, it might even
not all
be,
blacks are Congolese.
Yes, you might need to be more specific than that. Stacking coins. There are two types of Americans: one by blood and idea, one by blood only. No matter how much the third thinks he is and believes in the idea of, can't be. Two types of one by blood and idea, and one by blood only. Interesting. I feel like that's kind of what you say, Zeb.
Yeah, that's why I.
Well, that was another interesting. Can committing treason remove your Americanhood?
See, that's why I want to throw in the third option of American patriot. I think that would satisfy that question, right? Just because you remove someone from the table doesn't mean that their spot isn't still there from an ethnicity standpoint, right? Just because if we have a table of men and they cut their dick off, he's still a man, right? This is the same thing. He committed treason on himself when it comes to being a man, yet he's still a man.
Is it
the same thing with an American
with no dick fully a man? Is that true?
I mean, I would say yes. I wouldn't fully is the
something you want
question
to
is fully
to us, Zeb?
I guess the question is, what do you mean fully?
I don't know. I don't know what I mean. I'm out in my toga, wandering the streets of Greece, just philosophizing, bro. Just thinking out loud.
I mean, the question would be, I mean, you saw the dad give the ball back to the chick.
Yes. Good
Is he
example.
fully a man?
That's a great.
So I think these things.
Well,
I mean,
you're implying
the
there's some
citizens-
non-physical characteristic to manhood, right?
Well, that's what kind of what you're.
No, I kind of agree with that. So you could have no dick. You wouldn't like physically. Well, yeah, I guess you're biologically still a man, but you can't reproduce anymore.
Yeah, but
Does that
but
matter?
the material doesn't
Looks
really
like
matter
a
in
duck,
that
sounds
aspect.
like a dickless man. Duck. Thank you, William Maines, also for the incredible artwork. I don't have a camera set up on it today. Sorry, but one of our resident artists, good dude, great dude. Maybe someday he'll sell his stuff to you. Right now, only I have it.
Right? I mean, the world's been, or America specifically, but the world's been taken over by feminine men. I mean, they're still men,
Well, look,
but they aren't men. In the
Like,
same way that
yeah,
America is full of Americans,
see what you're saying.
but they're not American.
Yeah. 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 Can you take away manhood? Because you can't grant womanhood. In fact, you can't really take away
Like
women.
American-
It's like chopping a dick and balls off is, I guess you could chop.
All right, let's think about it like this. Like
It's a uniquely male problem.
a woman can be a mother, but not all women are mothers.
And you don't have to be a mother. Okay, so
And you don't have to
reproduction.
be a mother, and we can view that as like
Reproduction doesn't
citizenship.
matter.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
it doesn't matter if you can reproduce or not. That's fair.
But then if you go get the surgery, you're still a woman, but you're not really a woman. And so then you have the ones that are women that are actually women that are also mothers. That would be your American and your American citizen and your American patriot. And then you have the women that want to get their bottom surgery and get their whatever down there and their tits cut off. That would be a traitor, the non-American patriot, and then but they would still be women and they would still be American in that sense. Does that flow? I think so. It's very, very parallel.
Well, no, so I guess what I'm struggling with, I feel like, and maybe we'll find out these aren't all the same version of the same question. What is a man and what is an American? Maybe that's not quite the same thing, but
it's close. I think we said this live stream. It's close.
One American man, perfect fucking name. An American can be defined using both examples. You can be someone that is natural born, even if they didn't want to be a U.S., they are by birth. And if you have the ones that strive to be a U.S. citizen that become one through the process.
I disagree on.
Well, he's talking about citizenship.
Yeah, he's talking
that
about
I think
citizenship.
is American citizenship, I would agree.
Yeah, but I mean, I would
American
even
citizen is defined as being born here, whether or not you want to be a citizen, you are one if you're born here. And you can also become one through a process.
Yeah, but you can also have it removed and have it removed retroactively.
I guess let's stick to that specific thing for a second. If you are an American citizen, and like say you or me, someone that you would consider, Zeb, a true American, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say you, or whatever. But you commit, for some reason, you decide one day that you truly hate the United States, and you believe it and you mean it. It's a true feeling. And you no longer want to be considered American anymore. You don't consider yourself American anymore. Are you still American?
Not, I mean, if you're excommunicated not by citizenship.
No, you are
still-
like,
you're still
you
American,
are true.
yes.
You're an American, and then you decide on your own that you don't want to be anymore.
Yes.
You still would be?
Yeah, you still would be.
What if
I mean,
what if you like renounce your citizenship and move to China?
well, you don't become Chinese.
Well, yeah, but are you still
You're still
American?
American. Yeah.
Wait, walk me through why you believe that. I'm not saying I disagree.
Because I believe it's an ethnicity. I believe that it's something external from European. It's external from anything else. There is a specific nationality, ethnicity, race that comes with Americanism that can't be just removed.
Yeah, wait, hold that thought. You can't grant womanhood. This is OGTLT. You can't grant womanhood, but you can eternally label someone a P-blocked. Oh,
Blocked content, a pussy.
A pussy. You can just say pussy. That's okay. Or maybe that is censored. I don't know. Holy shit, that was hard to get through filters. Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Well, you succeeded, buddy. That's a win. We call that a W. But okay, Zeb. So what were you?
Well,
go back to that for a second.
In the same way, it's like again. I mean, you can apply this to basically any nation throughout the rest of the world.
I guess
everybody would have a different
I
opinion
guess
of this.
that fits with the man thing. Because if I just one day say I don't want to be a man anymore, and I believe I'm not, like I somehow am crazy, and just genuinely convince myself because I decided not to be, I'm not anymore. In fact, I do cut my dick off, but I would agree I am still a man. But where does the fact that I'm still a man reside? Like if that was data, where would it be stored? Is it objectively? Am I objectively still a man, or is this like society?
Okay, this is a question. Well,
Let's get into numeral down, I guess. Yeah,
it would boil down into the DNA, but I'd say it goes even further than that into the consciousness, right? The connection of the mind to whatever you apply consciousness to, right? Men and women quite literally think differently. We have different applications of consciousness to ourselves.
Yeah, but you and I also think
into
differently, and we all think differently than each other, and that doesn't.
Not in the same way.
I mean, I get what you're saying, just speaking in generalities, but I think it matters that we're hyper specific with the language. Like,
what specifically is? I guess is a question. You're trying to remove material world and still say that a man is a man.
It's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, is it still a man? If you cut your dick off in the woods and no one is around to see it, is it still a dick? Do you still have a dick or not? If it's the unobserved dick removal, this is quantum mechanics, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, well, a lot of it is
not the important part of what we're trying to do.
A lot of it is bound in the worldview too, right? So if you have a Christian worldview, you think that the person is something beyond just the material. I mean, if you have a humanist worldview, then the material is what defines it. And I guess in both of those cases, it kind of boils down to DNA, but I would say even beyond that, the spirit of the man or the male is different from the spirit of the male or female.
I feel like I just feel compelled. I just want this to be, I want Americanness to be something that can be removed.
Yes. I mean, that would be nice. I think the third option of applying a patriot aspect to it would satisfy what you're after.
How's that?
Because then you have three things that would need to be satisfied, and I guess you could argue that one of three isn't enough for the whole. So if you can remove the label of patriot and you can remove the label of citizen, then you're sitting at a third.
Like just happen to be born here, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Your ethnicity thing is interesting, though. I think that does tie into it because that's more obvious with countries other than America. Quickly, Jack Dawes. I was a Marine, or I am. Well, it was a chapter, and you won't catch me wearing the fucking hat for one thing. All semantics is small hat, red puppet behavior. What is true is self-evident. It does not ask to be explained. I don't disagree with you, but the problem is that we live in a world with the small hat legal system. And I think
Yeah, I don't
that
disagree
it's
either.
being American maybe doesn't need to be defined if you are one. But the problem we run into now is that other people are trying to say, yeah, I'm American and I don't need to define. And you're like, nah, you're fucking not, though. You're not. And so,
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the same that kind of goes back to the first super chat is, can we define what American is not? I think everybody can look at Zora Mondani and say, that dude is not American. Like,
there you
that's
go.
obvious to everyone. But then you want to ask them what is an American, and nothing comes out. It's because explicitly they don't want to be they don't want to be exclusive. And it's necessary that it is exclusive. And kind of to your point a second ago is I don't want it to be something. I mean, if I had it my way, it would be different, but I don't. And I'm just observing what it is, or at least attempting
There's
to.
a good comment from Edward. At least 8 of the signers of the Declaration of Independence were born outside of the U.S. It would be crazy to call them not American.
I would agree, but here's the deal. It's a different time. See, they built the thing that is America. What exists now with people coming over just because they exist here doesn't make them American. The signers of the Declaration of Independence also said they alluded to Americanism and Americans as their posterity from them. And so we can even follow that. I would even
say
I would
if you
even
went
go
to
as-
China and had a baby there, that would still be an American, and I would agree. Like it's this physical boundaries of birth thing is tricky.
and I would even push, I mean, if we're specifically talking about dates, I mean, I would even push it up to like the Civil War. So, I mean, 1860 or so, depending. I mean, and I feel like that's extremely generous.
I mean, that is part of the issue is that America is much younger than, say, China in some ways. Like it's, there weren't Europeans here, or many of them, until several hundred years ago. It hasn't, like, it really hasn't had time to become, well, as I say, the ethnicity thing is more obvious when you say German, like or Swedish, or Irish, or like, yes, that's all. But where
I mean, if you
it
wanna- if
comes
you wanna-
tricky though, because like, I'm Irish American, sort of. I'm a mutt. I guess we all are. Some maybe you're not, but like you're not very Irish, right? Are you mostly German?
No, I'm fully British, basically.
Oh, fully British. Okay. But we're both European and white and American, I guess I would say. Like how long is, I don't know that the ethnicity is fully formed. But it is. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think it is fully formed, right? I mean, you can call yourself a mutt, but I would call you an American, right? Everyone can look at you, John. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, anywhere in the world, someone can look at you and say he's American. It's obvious.
I don't know.
And so,
I don't know that I would agree with that.
in which way?
I don't know that we look.
They might misplace
super-
you as Australian, maybe,
Yeah, or
possibly.
British. Like
it's not gonna
before I
happen.
open my mouth, I could probably be any white European. I probably could look kind of German too.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I went to Disney World. We went to Disney World about, I don't know, 8 months ago. And there was a ton of people there from Europe.
True. Yeah.
And it was quite obvious that they were all European without them speaking. They just,
Yeah, but
carried yourself differently.
It's the
You looked
clothes,
different.
man. It's the clothes. If you put them in American clothes, I don't know that you would know. Some, yes.
You kind of making a French allusion there.
Yeah,
The
you ever
French
seen
dress nice and wear
yeah, I've
scarves?
seen French
The-
in America. No, they wear like skinny jeans and shit, or at least that's what 10 years ago they did. I do feel like Europeans have a distinct dress, and yeah, maybe like, and of course, once they start talking, but
I like this question that Jim put in there. He said, what's the ancestry of a golden retriever? And so I did an interview with a guy, a touch grass interview with a dog trainer. He trains labs. And we kind of dove into this question, and I think it very much parallels. I think if we're going to get to the root of what is ethnicity, it's going to be through the observing of dog breeds. That being said, even the yellow lab and black labs are quite different, and it's not just a coat color, right? If you look at all the great lab retrievers, field whatever competitions they do, they're all black. None of them are yellow, and so it's not just coat color, though they all come out of the same litter. I mean, you can take that even further,
Are you
right?
saying the black ones are more athletic?
That's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying, but yes, I mean that's exactly what I'm saying. Is that
true?
Yes, it's true.
All right, try not to get too sidetracked by that. That's interesting.
And so I mean, I'm not a geneticist by any stretch, but I've done a little bit of looking into this stuff, and so, what it seems to me,
TLT says black labs are only 15% of the population, but account for 90% of the dog bites. Jeez, that was an accident. That was an accident. Didn't mean to make it about that, but no. So yeah, I mean,
but I guess what I'm
ethnicity
saying
is dog breeds.
the color of the coat corresponds to other personality differences, even from the same parents, even from the same litter itself. And so you can tell how a dog is going to react by they have their own physiognomy. Dogs do. Like you can look at a dog and tell if you've been around them enough if they're, a little aggressive or not. You disagree? Or you don't think so?
Yeah, I just think there's exceptions to that, and
Well, sure, there's exceptions. There's always exceptions, John. You know that. That's what makes the rule.
I don't know that there's some pretty small little fuckers that get pretty angry at you when you don't expect it. Those little fucking rat dogs. those little Mexican chihuahuas coming across the fence, biting my yellow lab who's sitting at home because he couldn't make the black lab basketball team.
I don't know what my camera's doing.
I don't know either. You got it tracking you, I think. It's interesting. Well, and temperament is a part of breed too. So you say temperament or behavior is a part of ethnicity also, which I would agree.
Yeah. Yeah, he told me though, all of the current champions they're all descended from one dog. His name's Big Black Dude.
Well, maybe he just happened to be, what if it had been a yellow dog that maybe it was just this freak athlete?
No, they pump out yellows, dude. In the
Mojack.
same litter. In the same litter.
You're right. Bo Jackson of dogs, huh?
And now apparently there's a silver lab, but it's a Weimaraner got mixed in accidentally. That the lab that they don't identify them as labs because they're silver. It's a mutant gene that came from a Weimaraner. And so what the dog world understands that isn't a lab because it's a mixed breed. Eventually it would have its own breed, but right now it doesn't because there's no
But is America even just restricting it to Europeans? Like, is America's white population a bunch of yellow labs, or is it like white colored labs and white colored Rottweilers and white colored, like, just because they're all the same fucking color doesn't mean they're the same ethnicity breed. They're not the same.
Right, but they're all labs. That's what I would
So
say.
Europeans are labs.
Or I mean, any created breed. I mean, they all stem from a wolf. I mean, even if you believe in evolution at this point, a billion years of evolution.
I just
50,
like, what about
16
Italian? Do Italians count?
It would depend on the family that had been here and if they've assimilated to an extent. But
What about the Greeks?
Mostly no.
What about the slap?
I've dealt with too many Greeks, dude. I would say no. The Greeks don't get a pass.
All right, so
And
for next
typically north-
episode,
if
I
we
need
be
you to make
specific-
me Zeb's approved map of Europe.
Well, it's not my approval. I mean, it depends on context too, right? So the northern Italians are quite different than the southern Italians.
You see the point I'm making. Like, it's not all Europe is the same.
Sure,
Not all Europe is the same, dog. They're not all labs, Zeb.
I would agree.
There's a what's the fucking Italian? There's an
I
Italian.
don't even know if I would say Americans are labs, but
What if that part doesn't matter? You want to pick a different different breed, Zeb? Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, just make sure you're happy with the
Let's see.
metaphorical breed that you've chosen.
maybe we are.
While you're
Maybe we
thinking,
are
what if
labs.
there's just a purple lab gets born one day and it is behaviorally identical to all the yellow labs? Gets along great. Is that a purple American lab? Or is it the fact that it's purple relevant?
Where did a purple lab come
I
from?
don't know. I was just trying to pick a not real color.
Well, I guess it depends on where it come from. If a purple lab popped
Two-
out of 2 black labs or 2 yellow labs, then sure.
2 yellow labs, yes. A yellow lab and a black lab, no.
No, it'd still be yes.
I don't, maybe I'm a bleeding heart liberal or something, but I like for the door to be open to become an American.
I would too.
And maybe
it's
the
not.
existing, maybe it's like a club, okay, the kennel club, the lab club. They get to vote on whether or not they allow the purple lab in. But if they vote yes,
Yeah, John, you trying to let purple hair in to be American? I don't think that's gonna fly. I think we can cross that one off on what
just a
is
little
not
bit of
American.
purple, baby. Just a little bit. Have some
John's
of
over
this
here arguing
stuff.
for rainbow Americans. We don't want no rainbow Americans.
Little purple sherbet, baby. Sweeten things up. I was trying to remember the name. What's the slave ship? Amistad? Get a vanity plate on my car. This is Amistad. Show up with a bunch of purple labs in the back. These are Congolese labs. And I can prove it. Using the Zeb Boykin system of logic. Now, like, would you want to just shut the door to all purple labs, huh? Like, there needs to be a little purple lab quarantine for a few generations?
The purple lab's throwing me off.
I know. It's all
I mean, if it came from 2 yellow labs, I have no issue. Or 2 black labs, or a yellow and a black lab, I have no issue. Because it's still a lab. If it's a purple lab that came from a black lab and I don't know, a Great Pyrenees, then we have a question that needs to be asked.
not one drop.
See, I mean, I don't even hold to that, but sure.
Oh, we're getting to the bottom of this.
Well, here's the problem is I wish it wasn't this way. If I could make it another way, I would. But I can't. I'm like, again, I feel like I'm just observing what is. It's
Go on.
It's visible to everyone, whether they want to admit it or not.
All right, I'll put the screws to you now. It's joking aside. You say intuitive. People in the chat said this, so I'm talking shit on you guys as well. Without even needing to answer, you can look at and tell what an American is. You're saying you're saying that? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I mean, most people. Obviously, there's some retards out there.
I would hold the position that you cannot do that. We differ there.
Maybe in the middle of the spectrum of is and is not, it might get a little bit questionable when it gets closer to the middle.
Being an asshole here, but I'm putting this to all you guys. You say you don't even need to answer what an American is because it's so obvious. I'm saying, then why can't you fucking answer it?
Because it's multivariant.
Well, so
Too many
the first
variables to
statement you
apply.
said is not true, that it's easy and obvious. Maybe that's just actually.
I think it is easy and obvious. So
I think the
why can't those
feeling
two
of
things
it
be
is,
true?
well, but you go to define it and it suddenly becomes a lot harder.
Blake said Zeb ain't British.
Give me
You're
B on
right,
Rumble. Are we
American.
trying to define what American is or what a United States citizen is? America is kind of big, complete with North, Central, and South. Well, we don't mean
See, this is the thing with when you talk
It's a
about
fair.
Africans.
No, he's being a philosopher.
Well,
He
this
wants to know
no,
what the
no,
facts
that's
are.
what I'm saying. This is the question when everyone wants to allude to Africans. Everyone knows. Everyone in the world knows when you're talking about what an African
But
is.
they have
We're not
have
talking
a
about we're not
look.
talking about Egypt. We're not talking about Egyptians. We're not talking about Saudi Arabia. We're not. Everyone
But you're
understands that.
saying that, Beal. So how do you know that? Because they look totally different. That's what I would say. I can answer that question really easily.
I
What
think
is an
they're the
African? I'd
same.
be like, well, there's a continent of Africa, which I guess you would include Egyptians and North Africans. But what you're probably really asking, it's sub-Saharan African is what you're talking about.
Correct.
And they have a distinct genetic mixture that nobody else has, and they have a distinct look. They look very distinct from American blacks. Like you can look at them, you could, I'm sure, train an AI on what to recognize an African because there's a pattern there. Actually, that kind of brings up something interesting. Can an AI spot if a white American is like Irish or German or British or Swedish? I don't know that. Do you know that?
Say it again. I missed it.
Like, are there physical, facial, or something characteristics that some pattern recognition software or person, which is also kind of a pattern recognition software, depending on how you think about it, like that you could with 100% accuracy look at your face and my face and tell what kind of European we were?
Yes.
There is.
You can take a picture, send it into Grok, and ask it what is the origin.
Yeah, but I mean, is it
person.
right? Is it right though?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes, it's right.
I find that hard to believe.
There's a guy called
John can use looks for any other nations, but not America. I kind of agree. Like that's. I feel like this is the one fucking kind. That's what I mean by maybe it's not old enough to really be a distinct ethnicity yet. I mean, parts of it are. AI can identify race from X-ray is problematic. Yeah, I know it can identify race, but could it identify ethnicity?
yes.
Like if it took your face, it would say British.
Yeah, so a guy went on like a major rampage on X because people kept attacking him, and he would just take their profile picture and spit it back out at them with where they
Yeah, but
are
they probably
from.
were not
Like
American, in which case I think that would work. Like I can visually tell, like I can look at Asian people and with a high degree of probability be like Japanese, Korean, Filipino. Like they have just such a distinct look to them once you're around them enough. They all kind of do look a little bit the same at first. But I hear so do white people to them at first. So an Asian couldn't tell the different white Europeans apart, Zeb. Stacking coins. The founders gave it a distinct ethnicity. They did. Do you know that quote off the top of your head, Zeb? I don't. Because I don't.
John Jay. John Jay said, let me pull it up. Yeah, I got it on my phone. I don't want to mess it up. I think I said it last time.
Well, anyway, I think we've learned what we need from you before we can continue down the Europe. Before I'll allow any further European discussion, is a map of Zeb's approved Europe. Gotta draw those lines.
My approved Europe. I don't even think it necessarily requires even European. I would even stretch it into the Slavic lands, I would even stretch it into there. Given the context, obviously the
You
founders
let
would
Vladimir
agree.
Putin in?
Sure.
Hmm.
I mean, he's not American, but I'm not saying that his grandkids and grandkids and great grandkids probably couldn't be.
His kids could be great American heroes. Good old Stephen Putin.
But I mean, even like Benjamin Franklin.
That's kind of actually.
Benjamin Franklin basically said Germans would never be American.
He did say that.
And so this is kind of what we're trying to deal with is where is that line drawn? Franklin would have drawn it wherever he saw swarthiness.
Ben Franklin. We got nothing on Ben Franklin. We're just openly talking. That motherfucker being here getting us banned. He'd get Nick Fuentes banned by being a guest on his show. Did you fucking hear what Ben Franklin said on Fuentes?
For sure.
All right. What have we learned here, Zeb? Nothing?
We learned that we need to write down all of the variables that would apply to being American. which I think you have a couple.
Well, wait. Do we agree that being an American and being an American citizen are two different things?
Yes, they are separable.
Do
I
you-
don't know if they're two different things.
There's. Fuck do you mean by that?
Well, you can remove citizenship from an American, but you can't remove American from.
So would that not make them different things? Are you overcomplicating this?
Am I? Maybe.
Yeah, I agree they're different things, but listen, John. They're also different things.
That might be a little bit of semantics. But see, I mean, there's a lot.
Are
of
they
stuff that I
different things?
would seat on.
Is American and an American citizen? When you're, how about this? When you ask what is an American, are you asking what is an American citizen?
Obviously not.
Yeah,
I couldn't care
agree.
less.
I agree. They're two different questions. What do you think, chat? Chat.
Let me see if I can find some of this crazy chat. Chat disagrees with me. Chat's been
Flawed
attacking me the
logic,
whole time.
although I don't know if that's talking to us or somebody else. Idaho is fucked.
No, MZ has been addressing me the whole time. Only nationalist would make that recommendation.
He's mad at you.
I'm a nationalist.
An American is someone who can just do things. They are different things. Yeah, I'm with stacking coins.
Putin isn't Slavic.
Steve Putin, though. Stephen Walter Putin. It's pretty white. It's pretty white. What if he moved to Texas? Wyatt Putin, starting cornerback at University of Texas. It's a fact. He'd probably be the kicker. Let's be honest. We're all Greek or Hebrew. All right. Maybe the American is. Anyway, they're two different things. I'm calling that an agreement.
Yeah, I think that's. Would you apply a third aspect of patriot? Do you think that would satisfy your ideological questioning, which would free up the ethnical question?
Hold on. I gotta type. I'm typing.
Type it. We're all Roman citizens of the empire.
All right,
See,
it's
not
not-
all Roman citizens were Roman. The Romans had a tiered
Are
system.
you talking about Scipio Africanus?
I'm talking about Christ was crucified by
he was
the
Roman.
Romans
He just had a funny name.
on behalf of the Jews. Huh?
I think Africanus was Roman, but he just conquered Africa, so they gave him that name. Who was oh my god, I'm blanking on it. The sort of black emperor. Denzel.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't
from
even-
Gladiator
I
2,
don't
the historical document.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, MZ, I did Marine Corps about 5 years.
is Hadrian an American?
Is that the Black Emperor?
Nah. Nah, he went into Judea, bro. He kicked off pretty
Oh,
much
yeah,
all the
yeah.
fucking problems we deal with right now. Hadrian would be a good name for a yellow lab. It's a great joke and you're not laughing. Fucking great joke. And you're just sitting there
I
all.
don't get it, dude.
What are you thinking about right now? What are you pondering over there?
I'm just
Just walked away from the fucking toga party. You like walked at your fucking like.
I don't know. You're bringing up the Roman Empire.
You're eating an apple over there. Some stupid fool. You're one of that. You're that fucking fool.
Well, let me ask you this then. We want to talk about the Roman Empire and everything that comes with that.
Sure.
So when Rome conquered a land, they didn't become Roman citizens. They didn't become Roman, but they fell under Roman.
No, well, so they had the option of bestowing Roman citizenship on people, which they started doing a lot, which is kind of why they fell apart. But so that's what I mean. It was a choice of the existing Romans of who they
permanent visa.
Who else they would allow to also become Romans. And I feel like that's actually kind of
But they're not Roman though.
Citizen.
Yes.
Citizen. You're
Yeah.
the social group, and you accept them by bestowing these privileges. Yeah, I agree. They're not. That doesn't make them Roman. Some dirty Gauls.
I was gonna bring up the Gauls too.
Fucking Gauls and their black labs. Or wait, that's not right. It'd be the Pyrenees, because if they're a lab, they're okay. That's a southern Italian Roman. It's a Sicilian Roman. All the labs on Sicily are black. All the labs in the Alps are yellow. Wild, huh? Wow, the Gauls, Pyrenees.
That's what we need to do one stream, Josh. Just take all the dog breeds and play a matching game. That would be
When you bring your map, just have a fucking dog in each country.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. Well, I mean, you obviously have German Shepherds. You you have your Great Danes. You have your Belgians. I think that would be fun. And then you have your pit bulls, but
All right, well, at least we've agreed they're different things for now. I feel like you're going to change your fucking mind. Okay, so let's go. We got a lot of time. So, patriot, Zeb. This is a term you like. You're using. It's a term of art for you. You're saying you see American citizen, and you see American patriot.
I'm saying I will grant a third option of patriot to satisfy your position on ideology.
Stick to the
And-
question, boys. There are two parts. One is citizen, and one is nationally American.
See, I don't think that.
Well, that's it. That's kind of right where we're getting
everything.
to right now. You're saying is patriot a spiritual American? You're saying.
I think that allows you to do your removal of Americanism without actually stripping someone of their skin, and their face, and their hair, and their DNA.
Is American patriot the Holy Spirit of the Trinity?
Yes, I guess if we're applying this, well, it would the question would be under Christ. I think it would be a third nature, if you will, of a question.
You have the Father nature of being American. You have the Son nature of being American. And you have the Holy Spirit nature.
No. You have the Father is the question of what is the problem. Then you have Christ, which is the question of what is an American. But in that question of what is an American, we then have American citizenship, which would be like a human nature. You have a godly nature, which would be that of what is an American nationality or ethnically. And then you have a question of a third, if you want to call it a nature question, which would be patriot.
I think I'm just including the patriot part in the American part.
I think you are too.
And I would say
I think
maybe
it's too
Stacking
much.
Coins agrees with me. I don't know.
I think you are too. I think it's too much though. I don't think you can apply that and then remove it. It's a non-removable. The ethnic question is non-removable. Right? So if someone dies,
No, I'm
still
just saying,
American.
why is yours not just two things, American citizen and American patriot? Well, then what
Because
is,
I agree that a traitor is not a patriot, but I don't agree that a traitor is not American. You cannot remove the ethnic.
yeah, you only need the two terms. You'd be like they're an American citizen, but they're not an American patriot. Right?
Yeah, but then we have to answer the question of what is an American ethnically.
It's
racially.
both. It's when you're both of those at the same time, I guess. This is coming back to our table thing. Which is kind of my position. Like, I think you have to want to be American to be American. Like, you don't belong. And maybe that's different than any other country. Like, I don't know that you need to want to be Chinese to be Chinese. Like, you fucking are Chinese, whether you like it or not. I kind of agree with that. It's like a supremacy attitude. I don't know. But like, if you're Japanese, you are whether you want to be or not. If you're a man, you are whether you want to be or not. If you're a woman, you are. But American, I sort of feel like you do have to want it. Like it's not just a nationality or citizenship or ethnicity. Like it's better than everywhere else. It's something different.
I mean, I agree with you.
No, I'm not.
To
I'm
that
kind of saying that
Not
part.
the other one.
I mean, I do kind of. At least it used to be. It is for a while. We're hanging on. We're the ship with the least number of holes in the bottom of it. I get that, but stacking coins. But I would say the only one at the table that isn't actually American is the dude thinking he's a woman. We have so many fucking metaphors. The only one at the table that isn't, yeah, like a man who's sitting at the woman table is not a woman.
Yeah, but again, that question goes to who are you to remove American from him?
But that's what I mean. Like man
can remove
exists in
citizenship.
contrast to woman. Like it's they're sort of existing in terms of each other.
You remove American from them, what do they become? Nothing? They're just nothing?
Yeah, they're.
Or do you revert they're European when they're quite literally not European?
No, you're just. It's like what does someone become when you kick them out of a club? Whatever the fuck they want to be, just not in your club, not your problem. That's what they become.
Well, that's the citizenship question. What are we laughing at?
That they become not your problem. That's what they become.
Well, I agree with that on the deportation thing.
But that's meaningful.
That's a citizenship question, though.
Yeah, un-American. Plick gets what I'm saying. You're I mean,
They become un-American.
I'm unclear on the question, but the answer is guns. The OGTLT.
I
Great
mean,
comment.
yes, the answer is guns. Fine, we're not going to go down that road.
Well, what if you only have American citizenship and you lose your citizenship? What are you? Surely there's some category for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we disagree on removing citizenship. I think we disagree on removing American. I don't think it can be removed. Like what would it take for me to do, believe, say that would make me not American anymore?
You don't want to be, and you genuinely mean it.
No, no.
To me, that's like going, I don't want to be a
I'm still
member at the
American.
YMCA anymore. And the YMCA goes, okay.
As again, a citizenship.
Yeah, I think, but I'm saying America uniquely, I think the quality of American also, I'm not saying it does, but it should have that
Okay.
additional.
And I moved to Australia.
Yes.
Everyone in Australia knows that I'm American.
Yes.
I'm still American.
Well, yeah, but you're saying you also want to still be American, right?
No, even if I don't want to be American, I am still American regardless of how much I don't want to be. It's not something you can just opt out of.
I think I'm not ready to agree on that yet.
That's fine.
No, I don't think I say you don't want to be, and then everybody else, you like, it has to be a discussion with the rest of the group. Stacking coins, even the American at the table woman that thinks in the ideas of China, she's a man, is still American. So he's agreeing with you. I don't know that I agree. If there's a woman sitting at the table and truly believes she's a man, is she the same? To me, she's very different than a woman sitting at the table who thinks that she's a woman.
Well, very different would not negate.
But you would
still
say they're
American.
both still biologically women,
They're both still women.
but they're not both spiritually women. But they're both. But are they women?
One would still be a citizen.
But you have to start using.
Not be.
So you add the term biological because you have to, because like that is the obvious distinction that comes up is you have. So okay, we say what is a man or what is a woman. You start saying, well, first there's biological sex organs. So we just say biological male, biological female. But then there are, like you were saying, men and women think totally different. You could, I guess, say that arises from biological differences, but I don't know that it does. although it's
It definitely
genetic,
does.
I guess, if it's universal, and so that would be biological. So would you say male and female, what makes the distinction is purely biology?
With respect to being a woman
Yeah, either.
or man, yes. It would boil down to the DNA, not even just chromosomes, just like DNA. It's buried into the DNA. I would even say beyond that, into
I
the
do agree with
consciousness or
that.
the spirit itself. But again, that depends on your worldview. But I would say that if we're applying
Laughing
man,
dog
woman
quickly, I
distinction.
think the problem is we lost the ability to do what's necessary a long time ago, mostly because everything has emotional component. Yep. I like to
Yeah, we're scared to hurt people's feelings,
I think we
John.
domesticated ourselves. I don't fucking think I'm scared to hurt people's feelings.
I mean, there's obviously an exclusive aspect to all of these questions. I mean, unclear on the question. With
Here's a good
about how-
chronic. Everyone has their own proprietary definitions these days. That's kind of what I think is part of the problem. Is it's just like I don't need it to be my definition. I just think we need to fucking talk about this shit. And there's parts of it we'll realize, like, is it 5 generations or 10? That's probably like starting to seem less important than some of the other parts.
Yeah, I think putting a number on generations isn't the right answer either. Right? Again, because if you have someone coming from, again, like we said last week, Australia or South Africa or New Zealand or Canada to the America, it's obviously going to take a lot less generations to become American.
I mean, if the fucking virus, Zeb, moves into your body and reproduces for 1,000 generations, is that virus Zeb?
No.
I would agree. So if a human virus moves into your country and reproduces for 1,000 generations, is that American? So I don't think the generations thing fucking matters. It becomes interesting at like 1, 0, 1, or 2. That's maybe our sweet spot, like where it might matter a little bit.
Well, I would be closer to 3 and 4, but
Well, I'm saying for you, 0 seems to matter a fuckload. Or that's almost
yes,
a deal.
Yeah,
That's a
zero is
deal breaker
impossible.
for you.
It's a deal breaker. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
It's just not possible.
And then
I mean, it's not. I would say it's not even for me. I would just say it's quite
and then
literally not.
your kids could be British if you moved to fucking England and they grew up there. Your kids, specifically yours.
Could they become
Stacking
English?
coins, it has to be at least one a generation, even if you're British. Yeah, so Zeb, if you move to England and,
My kids will never be British.
What if they learned all the English customs, like they started speaking Arabic and they became Muslim? You know, all the shit they do in London.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I don't think that they could. I mean, even though biologically, I think I'm 97%.
From
English.
birth, they're going to British schools and they're drinking tea every goddamn day.
Okay, so he's 4 right now. If we move to Britain today, to England today,
That's different. He wasn't born there. I'm saying if you had kids there and they were just white British people, like genetically, and then you're saying because they still have American parents, that's a major difference between them and their peers.
I think their kids could be English.
All right. Sounds like you're leaning towards at least 2. But like that would change if you moved to the Congo, like you're saying.
Well, I'm already married. If I wasn't married, I would have to marry a Congolese, and then those children would have to marry a Congolese. And then you can ask the question. I think that would take 6 generations.
I'd pay a lot of money to see you married to a Congolese woman. I would watch that TV show.
I guess I'm not winning that lottery.
Zeb goes to the Congo.
Zeb goes to the Congo.
Raising a bunch of kids. You just hate them all. Like you're just so fucking angry.
John, I don't hate anyone.
Fucking idiots. What if they're like way smarter than you? What if it's like Jim Carrey's kids and Me, Myself, and Irene or whatever? You ever seen that shit?
Mm-mm.
Okay, don't. Not worth the reference.
Is it trash?
He has like 3 adopted black kids or something, and they're all like rocket scientists. It's actually kind of a funny joke.
Sounds never mind.
Sounds like propaganda, but okay. It is.
Okay.
I mean, it is.
See, it's completely removed from reality.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm less concerned about figuring out the exact number of generations today, but we have figured out it does matter beyond a certain amount. It probably doesn't matter that much, although that amount changes with how different the place you move to is from the place you're from. In essence, right? The more different of a place you move to, the longer it will take to become officially one of those people. It sounds pretty reasonable. Are you still there?
Yeah. I mean, I was agreeing. I mean, I thought you were going to keep going.
Well, I just mean, like, I know this all sounds very self-evident, but I think it's important to, like, say that we agree on it. Like, if for you, England is the closest place you could move in maybe 2 generations. And the Congo is damn close to the furthest, and maybe never, but a lot.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's useful, I think. I think that's useful. All right.
I don't know. Maybe I could move to Australia or Canada
Definitely can't. Canada fucking
and be faster.
can't. Speaking of not having an identity, Canada. Fuck is a
Yeah, but
Canadian? Good luck with that
Yeah, but
question.
everybody knows what a Canadian is.
Fucking don't. They don't
One of
even.
those people that looks like a leaf.
Their heads fucking separate from their mouths when they're fucking.
They smell like syrup.
Well, I mean, Canada is ostensibly a country just like the United States is, but it literally and truly is just fallen apart into this systemless idiocy. Stacking coins. An African can become a citizen and his genes become African American, but he and his offspring could never become American American. Could never become American American.
See, I mean, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't even agree with that. I mean, never is a really long time.
That's right. You let the black labs in. You're like, black labs? It's okay. As long as it's a lab.
Maybe we need a little little aggression in the gene pool. Maybe we let some pit bulls in here. I'm just kidding.
In South Carolina's got
Don't do that, chat. That's bad.
I don't know if I'm understanding that correctly, stacking coins. I don't know that I'm kind of with Zeb. I'm shocked Zeb.
I mean, never. I mean, I would say it would take.
I mean, given a long enough timeline,
but
given a long enough timeline, won't all the Somalis in Minnesota turn white? If that whole theory is correct, I've wondered this a lot. Like high cold latitudes makes your skin turn white. Are they gonna all turn white in like a million years if they stay in fucking the Mall of America? And if we all went to the Congo, would we all we'd still have the same bone structure, but wouldn't we all turn black eventually, even without ever?
Well, I think me and you disagree.
This is not an important part. I'm just fucking.
I think me and you disagree on this, John.
You don't believe that kind of thing happens?
I mean, I believe in a micro evolution, not a macro evolution. What I mean by that is, I think the people that inherited Africa, if you will, were already a darker skin, and so it just sped up the process, if you will. It's just like they had larger noses, just like the Asians had smaller features.
They're still
whoever moved there first. It's just an exaggeration of the features that already existed with those people.
Stacking coins definitely has the table thing going for him. They would still be something American, but not American. Well, that's what we're trying to get at is what is that first American? What is the American? What's the first American part mean? That's kind of the question, right?
Right. I mean, I am American. I think Stephen Wolf kind of gave a speech probably a year or maybe 2 years ago talking about what is, we are unhyphenated Americans. That's the question. And this is the thing that I mentioned last week of Black Americans or African Americans, however you want to call them. See, I wouldn't even say they're African Americans. I would say they're Black Americans. I would say they're
Jim.
I don't.
What's got you out of sorts, Jim? Let us know. I'm trying to keep an eye on this. Let's back up and let me ask why are we dancing around? Why does it matter? White
Why does it-
Europeans is the American part.
He's alluding to WASP, Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, I get that. So
MZ asked,
you'd
why
be
is Zeb fixed on DNA expressions, eugenics? I mean, I'm not a eugenicist. I'm a nationalist, and by definition, a nationalist is in America a white nationalist.
well, that's all
Or if I was in
nationalist in America. Go ahead.
Indian. I would be an Indian nationalist, right? I believe Indians belong in India. I believe Chinese belong in China. I believe Americans belong in America. So this is what we're getting after. It's not necessarily about DNA, but it is. I'm not a eugenicist, but I do believe people belong where they belong. Right?
Would you agree with this, Zeb, that an American nationalist has a much trickier job than a nationalist from any other country?
Absolutely.
I think that I'm writing that down.
And I think that white nationalist is redundant, and I don't like it.
White.
At this point, what difference does it make? I mean, that's
I don't give a
that's
shit
question.
what you call it.
We're a minority. Americans are a minority in America. That should be observed, and that is currently the way it is. So the question I would ask you, John, is America still America if the vast majority of people aren't American?
Defining American is
Yeah.
harder than any other country. I just want to make sure I have that. Okay. Sorry. Repiten, por favor.
Nationalism is not contingent on ethnicity.
You're
What-
saying that, or someone's commenting?
Then what is a nation of people if it's not ethnically the same or extremely similar? That is definitionally what nation is. I think MZ needs to go read something or Google. Google probably won't even give you that answer anymore. Who knows?
True. It's very true. It's an accurate statement. Rumble might be down.
Here it goes, chap. I wish that people could just wish to be American and they would be, but they can't because we are individuals. We are born different. I'm not arguing one better than the other, though I would. Not in this case, I'm not right now. But differences exist. And because differences exist, it necessarily means one is
Stacking coins. Unless you draw lines like I am, you will never have a logical conclusion. Yes, I agree. Drawing lines. I just I feel like stacking coins. I'm not trying to entice you to. I'll try to keep an eye. You don't have to like super chat, but
yeah, we're splitting this. We're splitting
if you
this.
say African American and American American, then one of those two words in American American needs to be replaced with a different word, which I guess you kind of
Or not replaced at all. Just removed.
or deleted
because
yeah.
American cares enough.
But see, to say African American, you're not implying in African genetics that have agreed to act like white Europeans. You're saying African genetics that have moved to the geographical area of America. And then were born there, I guess, or some shit. The fuck is an African American, Zeb?
An African American is someone that was born in Africa and moved to the U.S. or was brought to the U.S.
No, I don't know.
however you-
Isn't it someone of African descent who was born in the
I wouldn't even
U.S.?
agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that.
Someone
agree with that.
Born in Africa that moves to the U.S. is not American. Jim Leahy, John, please call that book dealer back again sometime. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Give that guy.
Whatever happened with that?
Well,
Drop
technically that was
folder.
illegal to record, I realized after the fact.
Really?
Yeah, Pennsylvania, you can't do that. He was
It's not a single party consent.
No, he was a good sport, but I was kind of like, well, because he was such a good sport, I think I'll leave him alone for a while. But he probably wouldn't.
I'll call him next time.
Right, I was using language to create a distinction. We were just Americans.
What was the question before super chat from Jim?
Jim.
Oh, African American. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that Black Americans are African American. I would say that they are Black Americans. I think they are distinctly different than Africans.
I agree with
Africans
that.
that come over here would argue the same exact thing.
I do agree
And
with
so
that.
in that same space, why can't we apply that to American in itself? And I am. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so if you take the things that make a Black American different from an African, you're starting to talk about the things that make an American, are you not?
That's exactly the same question.
So what are those things? What are
Time,
the
culture,
differences between Black Americans and Africans?
genetics.
So
All
what
of
do you mean-
those
what do you
things
mean by-
combined in one.
What do you mean by time?
Time spent in America over generations where they are breeding with each other. It creates a separate thing, right? When you look at Africa and you see a Nigerian next to a Somali, you can say, yeah, those are different. When you
Somalians
come-
especially.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could even go with
That's right. Americans don't look the same in the way Somalians do. Like, we're not that lucky, or else it'd be a lot easier to say, what is an American? You say, what's a
I think
Somalian?
over time you would get there, but I think we are far enough removed from Europe that I think there is a distinction. There's a visible distinction. Like you said, if you stuck it in the AI would spit out American or European.
So anyway, so again, not anyway, but again, what is the difference between like not LeBron James? It's fucking
LeBron could be one.
But yeah, literally any, Black American who's totally Americanized, whatever you fucking.
Not having sickle cell.
And I'm assuming like if you add Black Americans with white DNA
or malaria,
that kind of makes it more complicated. So let's just not count them right now. But someone that has 100% African ancestry, but has lived here for many generations, you would call that a Black American. You're saying.
Yes, I mean most of them would call themselves Black Americans, or they would call themselves foundational Black Americans.
Somali's got that bulbous head. God, they are distinct looking people. I'll give them that.
Dude, somebody took the mayor of Minneapolis or whatever that Somali is, Somaliland up in north.
Illinois.
No, the mayor, the crazy looking Somali. You know what I'm talking about. Real bulb head, crazy looking. Anyway, they took him and they made him white. They just colored his skin and changed his hair, and he looks even crazier. And it was like, it doesn't matter what color you change the skin, crazy still looks crazy. He's still Somali.
Somalian has such a distinct look that you can give him white skin and blue eyes, and you'd still in a second go, that guy's fucking Somalian.
Yeah, I mean, what is an albino?
I mean, you take like a Chinese person, give him white skin, you'd be like, that's Chinese. That's
Chinese.
They're Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more than the color is actually irrelevant. So we're all the same color on the inside.
Except
we're all the same color after 3rd degree burns. True. It's facts.
Some of us still have
science. One might even say that that's science. All right. Anyway, let's stay on track here. The differences between Black Americans and now I'm starting to be like, one of the primary differences is that there's a lot of not African DNA. Like
what
most Black
DNA?
Most Black Americans are much lighter skinned than Africans. Even like in Tarantino movies, Samuel L. Jackson will reference this. He has the purple N-words from Africa. And I remember hearing that line and being like, my God, that's a great way to describe it, isn't it? They're so dark, they're like purple. Not all of them, but I think you can tell when someone is African and when someone is a Black American. Like they look different. But if you let's take our Congolese buddies and you put them in America for 100 generations, they would still look Congolese, would they not, if they never mixed?
If they never mixed. And this is the argument against
you would still
Jews in America. This is an argument against at least the first few generations of Italians in New York. I mean, if you go to New York, nobody intermixes up there, right? It's very distinctly, they import themselves. And so if you never intermix, with what is an American, then you can never be American, and your children can never be American. That's my argument. I would say the Amish aren't even American.
Interesting, actually.
I would go that far.
Well, they speak a different fucking language. They're very different.
Yeah.
What about
they
Conor
high dutch.
McGregor? Is Conor McGregor spiritually American?
Spiritually, he's got that revolutionary spirit, man. He's a patriot. Maybe not an American patriot, but he's a patriot.
Could Conor McGregor move to the United States and get a pass from you? Would you welcome him in?
No, he has bad character. But maybe that's what we need for evolution. I don't know anymore.
I feel like that's the character we need in this fucking place.
I mean, I agree.
We don't need fucking
The founders wouldn't.
We don't need. I don't know the way you're talking about Ben Franklin. Holy shit! Sounds like you and Conor McGregor would have got along fine. You would have seen that clip of Conor McGregor like breaking that Muslim guy's bus window, and then Ben Franklin would have fucking jumped out and kicked somebody. Fucking Muslims, fucking Barbary pirates. Ben Franklin. Learned a lot about him today.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got like 10 more minutes if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you whatever you got.
Anything specific? I think we kind of beat this one pretty hard today.
I know I like talking about this stuff. I know it's not for everybody, but
I mean, I do too. I think Chad likes it.
It's a good stuff.
Zeb is so sassy.
I appreciate you speaking your mind and allowing this to go to places that make people uncomfortable, because I think we got to talk about it.
Well, dude, here's the problem. We're so full of ball stealing from their kids and giving it to some crazy woman.
Oh, fuck.
In America that I'm just tired of it, dude. I'm tired of it.
I don't give a shit.
There's no solutions coming with that. Sorry.
That was the title of our episode, which I never even got to, but I'm assuming most of you saw, but we blew up the fucking drug runner Venezuelan boat, and then half of our retarded country is, oh, they didn't get due process.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter was kind of...
What an extrajudicial killing. It's like, you realize they're driving fucking drugs into our country, right? Like, you understand that I saw, who's that fucking, was it Rand Paul in To Kill a Mockingbird? That stupid fucking shit that he said? Was that him?
Yeah. Have you read To Kill a Mockingbird? It's like, dude.
Have you read
Libertarians are the problem.
Yeah, I read Where's Waldo too, fuckface. What's your point? Fucking read Green Eggs and Ham. Give me the logic. Fucking idiot.
Well, the problem with
Sorry.
It's a libertarian fantasy, man. These people, they live in fantasy world and they don't want to recognize reality as what it is. Would I prefer not to blow up the drug boat? Sure. Don't the drug boat.
Yeah, it needs to not be there for me to not blow it up. That's how I don't blow it up, is if it's not fucking there. You know what? I ain't blowing up any boats that aren't there. That's
and then they came out and said that it wasn't a drug boat. They were shipping migrants.
I fucking hope so.
Like,
I was like, good.
Maybe.
Migrants.
That doesn't change anything. But yeah, JD Vance told him, said he called it a war crime.
Fucking like, Stephen Putin on that boat.
I don't give a shit what you call it.
Fucking yeah, Vance.
But we need more of this. We need more of this. And I say more, I don't mean like a little bit more. I mean a lot more. We need to take that rhetoric that is coming from Vance, the memes that are coming from Trump right now. We need to take that rhetoric and apply it liberally in practicality.
Jim, can we agree that a foundational American or stock American had white European grandparents fully assimilated in the United States economy prior to 1940s? I think that's kind of what we're actually tracking towards. At least something like that.
40s is crazy early. Like I said, I mean, I would have to go back to mid 18, and I feel like that's a I feel like that's a concession on my end. But yeah, I think
this was the full exchange. Of course, it was a Krasenstein, but J.D. Vance said, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. One of these dudes that butt fucks the other one that looks like him. Killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. I don't give a shit what you call it. That is the reference. if
Okay,
you're
now we need to take that rhetoric and apply it to the invasion that has been happening in America. Here's the thing is they will call it an invasion. They will say that we're being invaded. It's not immigration anymore, it's an invasion. But if you follow that logical line, that rhetorical line to where it's the practicality of it is that we are at war.
Well, yeah, and if you find yourself thinking that the words don't matter, that kind of talk is boring, they just kept invading and changed the name of it.
Yeah.
That matters. Like the words need to matter to you. You have to be able to spot that pattern. Like someone's punching you in the face and you're like, hey, fucking stop punching me in the face. And they just keep punching you and they go, well, now I'm massaging your face. And essentially we went, okay, that's better. As we're getting fucking punched still. It's the dumbest thing ever. So anyway, that's my rant. The fucking words matter, and it matters that we agree on what they mean. Anyway, you were saying. You were
I
Hitler.
got like 5 minutes.
You were Hitlering?
I was Hitlering? Well, I mean, I'm just saying that if we're going to call the words matter, like you said, and the rhetorical wordplay lip service that we get from the Trump administration is very much great, fantastic. But let's follow that up practically. And the problem is that we don't.
Yeah, I should point out I don't give a shit what you call it is not saying what you call it is meaningless. He's saying, I'm not letting you dictate the fucking words anymore.
Yes.
Just the fucking, what is this dude?
But it seems like this is
without any due process. Says, no, we're not playing that game anymore. So good on you.
Yeah, I mean, the due process should be out of the window right now, to be honest with you. I don't think people that are actively invading the country in mass numbers should hold any value in a due process.
I'm just isn't this kind
it's just
of
not it's not possible to fix. It's not possible to fix with due process in play. Like it's quite literally impossible. You can't process.
That's what we were talking last time,
people.
and I feel like you were kind of arguing against me. But I said, when you come here, your intent matters. And isn't this a great little anecdote of that? Is they were coming in a boat to America, but droning the fuck out of them or whatever is totally fine because of their intent, right? Like even now, that's why they're trying to say, oh, it wasn't drugs, it was fucking immigrants, because now they're changing the intent of the people on those boats. The left understands that the intent matters, even if you don't want to agree with me. That's what's happening there with that propaganda when they say they were immigrants, not drug runners. It's saying that drug runners are people with bad intent. These were people they just wanted to get in that melting pot. They just wanted to melt in.
I don't really care what the intent is still.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, because it's illegal to come here on a fucking boat like that, and so I would call all of that bad intent.
I mean, even if their intent was to come to America and make it the greatest place in the world, again, it's irrelevant.
I don't know. I'd feel like a little bit bad if I found out that boat had 3 black labs on it who just wanted to play fetch. I'd be like, that's a bummer. Probably could have.
Yeah, I feel like the black labs would have taken a plane.
Brown those were chocolate labs. That cocoa comes from South America, so there you go. Fucking chocolate labs. Yeah.
All right, John, I got like 3 minutes. What else?
I don't know. What other kind of labs are there? Fuck.
Well, you got well, you kind of got white labs, but you got yellow labs, chocolate labs, and black labs, essentially. And then, like I said, you got the new silver labs that are
man, you know a lot about labs. This lab thing is really important to you.
Well, like I said, I did a like a 2-hour discussion on
yeah, I'm gonna flip
on
it on
dog
you now.
breeds.
You know what a St. John's water dog is yet? Did you get that far in your research?
Nope.
I'm actually a lab expert. All labs are descended from a now extinct breed called the St. John's water dog. I'm going to prove that I'm not lying, if I can. Maybe. St. John's water dog. St. Me's water dog. And then we'll stop. The St. John's water dog, also known blah, who gives a shit. No one knows where it came from, went into its genetic makeup. Anyway, it was sort of bred because it liked water. The St. John's breed were called water dogs because their love for water in their coat, which was water resistant, medium-sized, strong, and stocky, more closely resembling modern show Labradors than field Labradors.
Let me one real quick. So I guess if we want to finish this up and make a dog parallel, because I got to bounce here in a second, is that can you create a lab without Labrador genetics? And I think the answer is yes. And in the same way, you can create an American without American genetics, but there has to be some external factor in that. And you could argue that it's being in America.
Are you talking about convergent evolution?
Sure. But something along those lines.
Like how given enough time, every animal evolves into a crab?
I mean, I deny macroevolution, but the microevolution, sure, it's a biological aspect where is that if you wanted to take all of America and shove it into California, and then you take Europeans and move them back into America and create the colonies again, they would still be America in some aspect.
Jim, then I posit that Americans are no longer around. Oh, like the St. John's water dog. Good night, all, till we meet again. I hope you come back for the next
Europeans
show.
would no longer be around.
Well, I think next show we'll get heavily into the question you had asked about, or the point you had made about generations and things like that. But I know you got to get going, Zeb, so let's get you out of here.
Thank you, John. Thank you, chat.
In fact, let's just kind of wrap up the show. We're close enough till 6 o'clock. So, Zeb, real quick, where can people find you? Oh, taking his headphones
you can
out.
find me at Outside the Overton on YouTube and Zeb Boykin on Rumble and X. We also have a Outside the Overton clips on X also. But if you just Google my name, Zeb Boykin, it'll come up on YouTube. We're live every day from 3 to 5, every weekday from 3 to 5. And we're starting to pump out some more content that is not specifically live, some reaction content, some collaborative content, and big things in the works.
Go check them out. It's good stuff. Take it easy, Zeb. Chat.
Thank you, chat.
It was good to see you all. Cut and Stunt. What's going on? River Spirit 7, OGTLT. Thank you for your comments. Chronic, good to see you as always. Jim, hope to see you again and continue talking. MZB about. Glad to have you in here arguing. Good time. Robbie C, what's going on? David Olerkin, good to have you as always. Parody Bear. David Smith, if I didn't say you already, Markets and Moto, everybody else who chatted today. That is it for today. Where's my damn sign off thing? Here we go. I'm a St. John's water dog, and until next time, remember, you're a world champion. Don't let your memes be dreams.